The cheapest, highest quality solar panels available on Amazon. Just got a massive new release. And now we have shade tolerant panels. Can you see all the bypass bus bars? Is it enough to unseat the current king of the best solar panels on Amazon? Let's find out together. These are 215 watt bifacial shade tolerant solar panels from my favorite solar panel brand on Amazon, Callsun. They've even started making some batteries too. It is pretty shocking how much of an improvement these give you in certain scenarios. Let's get into this testing. Let's unbox this battery. I have a little pouch here labeled screw, and inside that we've got two different lengths of what appear to be terminal screws. We've got some documentation here, and there's the battery itself. Nice mini form factor, as you can kind of see here. Just a good old no frills, get the job done kind of battery, it looks like. So you do 4 batteries in series, and then 4 batteries in parallel. Max charge current of 100 amps. Recommended 20, which is standard. Max continuous discharge current is 100 amps. Recommended standard current 20, and it can do a surge of 300 amps for 5 seconds or less. I'm very excited about these. This is Callsun's latest offering. Be sure and check out my first review of their 200 watt models. I'll leave a link for it right up here in the top right corner, as well as down in the description. They performed absolutely flawlessly, and they are the perfect, most portable, highest efficiency solar panel you can get for like portable power stations and stuff. And the best news is you could buy them online from Amazon, have them shipped to your door for a really good price for that kind of solar panel. So I'm very excited about the latest 215 watt collection from Callsun. After all of that, this panel is in perfect condition, but check this panel out. Absolutely shattered. So I'll tell you what I think happened. You can kind of see where the point of impact was right there. And I think what happened is, if you look at this side of the box, which is where the back side of this panel is facing, we've got this big hole right here with a big gouge mark right here of something, and I'll bet you that's what happened. Something hit that, went all the way through, and applied enough pressure through that foam that it just cracked that panel. In the meantime here, let me show you some awesome features about these particular solar panels. So take note that the cells are half cut, and there are 16 bus bars running through all of the cells. And then, very similar to the other panels that I tested, this right here basically splits the panel in half. So this bottom part here is independent of this upper half right here. And I'll demonstrate that in the shading performance tests. However, it looks like Callsun may have gone a step further here, because I don't know if you can see, but right there appears to be another separation now. So it's almost like there's 4 sections on this panel. So you've got the main divide here, and then each half is divided in half again. And I think that's going to make this even more efficient and more shade tolerant. Actually, it looks like they've got all kinds of cool stuff going on back here. So not only do we have that horizontal divide that I was noticing on the front, but check out these vertical, what appear to be main bus bars as well. Look how many paths there are for the power to get around shade and to get back to the central point. I'm very excited about this. It's a little hard to see from this camera angle for some reason, but we have a rated power output of 215 watts with a VMP of 17.37 volts, an IMP of 12.38 amps, VOC 20.41, and then an ISC of 13.12 amps. And it is an N-type solar cell. Fast forward just a few days, and Callsun sent a replacement panel out for the one that was damaged. Okay, ready for the big reveal? It's a thing of beauty. All right, we got both of the new Callsun solar panels out here. I've got their battery set up here, and I've got this sweet 40 amp MPPT solar charge controller hooked up. This thing's a beast. I absolutely love this thing, especially for 12 volt batteries. This does 12 and 24 volt batteries. Now, if I step over here in the shade, you'll see that it's January 15th, high noon right now. So this is about as good as the sun's gonna get today. We do have a cloudless sky, a little bit of haze in the sky, and the sun is way over here in the horizon, because we are just coming off winter solstice still. Not even a month away from when it happened. So sunlight is pretty poor quality right now, a lot of atmosphere for the sun to shine through. That's also why I have the panels at such a steep angle. But Callsun never disappoints, and this is one of the reasons why I absolutely love their stuff. Check this out right here. 370 watts. So we're almost getting the full rated capacity out of these panels, even with poor quality sunlight. I might be getting a little bifacial gain off that bright fence there, but that is very, very impressive performance. By the way, just take note here, we're pushing in around 27-ish amps into that battery from Callsun, so it's accepting a solar charge extremely well. Let's do some shade testing. So just for fun, I got the last generation 200 watt Callsun solar panel right here, and it's next to their new Shade Tolerant Generation 2 panel. The other one over there is turned over. You can see the grid and whatnot. I've got this panel hooked up to the Callsun battery right here, and then I've got the old panel here hooked up to the EcoFlow Delta. The new panel right there is producing basically 190 watts, 189 watts, 188. The old panel right here is producing 191. So we're what, 2 to 3 watts the same between those two. So I've covered up the bottom half of both of those panels. The Shade Tolerant panel is still producing 97 watts, very impressive. And check it out, the original one is still producing 97 watts, which isn't a surprise because both of the panels are split right equally down the middle, so they should perform exactly the same. Watch what happens though when I flip this in a vertical orientation, just like that. Okay, so we're covering up top to bottom half of each of those panels. So very interesting. On the Shade Tolerant one, we are at 1 watt and 0 watts from the non-Shade Tolerant panel. So I managed to kill both. I think it's just because I've lowered the voltage such that they both aren't performing very good. Let's alter the shade a little bit more here. Okay, let's try this configuration. I've lowered this down a little bit so a little more of the upper portion of the panels are exposed. So now the Shade Tolerant panel is picking up 53 watts, 54. Crazy but true, the old panel that's not shade tolerant is actually performing considerably better. 88 watts. So next test, I'm just covering up one row, the far side of all the cells on the Shade Tolerant panel. That's still been reduced down to 6 watts. Same thing on this panel right here. If we come down here and take a look, 87, 88. Okay, something insane is happening here or something. I don't know. Let me check. Okay, I'm changing the approach. We'll come back to this battery here, but just for apples to apples testing, I'm going to use this power station, and I've got another cord right here that's going to that Shade Tolerant panel, and we'll just switch between the two here so we can get the same reading off the same MPPT. So once again, just the far right line of cells covered up, an impressive 85 watts from the old non-shade tolerant panel, or less shade tolerant panel. Now, the same thing on the more shade tolerant panel. And look at that, you guys, 0 watts. I got it plugged in. Very, very interesting. Horizontal shade testing one more time. I have the Shade Tolerant Generation 2 panel hooked up first. It's giving us 80 watts. Now, the Generation 1 panel hooked up back here now, and it's a little lower, 77 watts. Okay, so vertical testing covering 2 entire rows vertically, top to bottom on each panel. First one we're testing is the old one here, coming in, 0 watts. Now I've switched it to the Shade Tolerant panel over there, 0 watts. So now partial shading just at the bottom corners of each panel, behind that circular lid there. First up, the Shade Tolerant one, 132 watts. Next, the Generation 1 non-shade tolerant panel. And there's our major difference. Look at that, 88, 89 watts versus 132 on that panel over there. So now we can kind of start seeing how the power can bypass around portions of shade. If you're doing giant amounts of shade, it kind of sixes either way. And just for fun, I've turned both of these panels around, and we'll just test their backside generating capability. So first up, this old panel right here, it's plugged in. We're picking up 110 watts from the back of that panel. And that includes, the shade from those cables and everything, which you're going to have regardless on the backside. Next, I have the Shade Tolerant panel hooked up. Coming in right there. And it is so close. Look at that. Just a 1 watt more. 111 watts. as opposed to 110. So very comparable performance from the backside on both these panels in full sun. Let's try a real world scenario, because this is just kind of artificial shade in full sun. I'm going to move the panels down here where we've got some natural shade coming from a tree. So natural shade is always hard to test with because the sun is always moving. We're going to try to do this pretty quick here. So I've just stuck this panel in a shaded portion with some natural shade from a tree, and then we'll replace it with the shade tolerant panel. Without getting my shadow on it though, we're pulling in 74 watts. Again, that's the old panel. Okay, now I have the new shade tolerant panel up there. Oh yeah, you can see a difference. Look at that, 82 watts, 83. So maybe not a dramatic difference compared to like the corner shade test that we did over here. So once again, you guys, natural shade is really hard to test with, but I've got these panels laying end to end, and you can see we've got this shadow going straight through it. And then generally some decent sun on the sides. So let's just see what performance we get laying down with that shadow going through. First one is the old panel, and we were producing about 39 watts. Okay, next we've got the new shade tolerant solar panel, and in this test it's actually slightly worse, 31 watts. Let me show you one other factor for consideration with these panels. So I think this factor that I'm about to show you is probably the biggest influencer with a smaller quantity of panels, like one panel connected to a power station, than anything else. Starting with this old panel right here. Look at this number right here, VOC 27.31 volts. Now let's jump over here, VOC 20.41 volts. So we lose around 7 volts VOC between this panel and this panel, even though technically this panel is larger. When you have them hooked up like I did, just 1 and 1, those extra 7 volts can make a tremendous difference in how much power it pushes out when it's just a small number of panels. So just because we can, might as well. Got the 2 old ones hooked up into series. Got the 2 new ones hooked up into series. That should significantly boost the voltage across the board. Got the 2 old ones plugged in first, and they're producing 191 watts. No shade. Next, the generation 2 solar panels, essentially identical, 189. Now let's pretend I've got my RV air conditioner that's casting a shadow on the bottom corner of that panel and the bottom corner of that panel. So generation 2 panels right here, 154, 153 watts. Generation 1 panels now are connected up, and look at that, 105 watts. So where that affected these panels by around 30 watt reduction, it affected that whole string there by almost 50%, 100 watts. So are you kind of starting to see where the benefits come from these shade tolerant panels? They're not going to produce more power than those in 100%, shade conditions, like a cloudy day or something like that. Where they are going to produce more power is when you have partial shading in different areas of your array. These panels have so many additional pathways for that power to skirt around and avoid that shade that you get tremendous increase in production. And so are these panels for you? The answer is it depends. If you have an RV or a van or someplace that gets a strong partial shading effect, probably the best example I have is your rooftop air conditioner that sticks up and casts those obnoxious shadows at all times of the day, all along, one panel or part of one and part of another or something like that. You will see a tremendous difference with these shade tolerant solar panels. Another example of where shade tolerant solar panels would be helpful. Can you see on my roof how I have my chimney right there? And it's a little hard to see from this vantage point, but it's casting a shadow directly on those first solar panels right there. So if I have a row of panels like that that get a direct shadow just like that chimney casts, having some kind of shade tolerant solar panel like this could actually make a tremendous difference in my daily power output. If you're setting up a giant array, say against my fence right here, you've got these shadows that creep across it. As we saw in the testing, there's not too much of a difference in performance. You might eke out a few bonus watts, especially if you could get a couple of these panels in series to up their voltage, but it's probably not worth the extra money to get the shade tolerance feature compared to just adding, an extra normal solar panel. At least that's my thought on who should get this and who shouldn't. Of course, I may have missed something or didn't think about a certain scenario, and you guys are always so smart, so leave your thoughts and ideas in the comment section below and help us all learn where something like this could be deployed and benefit us. So quick note on solar charging this battery. If you get yourself the 2-pack of these panels, as you saw earlier in this video, we were dumping in close to 30 amps of power to this battery. So that means if this battery was completely dead, just with these 2 panels, you could easily charge that up in less than 4 hours if you had a bright, sunny, cloudless day. So that might put into perspective just how much power these solar panels could produce. Let me just do some quick battery-specific tests so you can see the performance of the battery itself. We're going to do a battery capacity test quick on this Callsun 12-volt 100 amp hour battery. We'll be metering through the Victron Smart Shunt, and you can see everything is zeroed out on that. By the way, if you guys want a very nice inverter for a really good price, check out this Jumpa inverter. I'll leave a link for it down in the description as well as my full review video. It's very well built and is insanely quiet. So if you need an inverter to go with your new Callsun battery and use the power that you've generated from your solar, check this guy out. So we're just ever so slightly over a 0.2 C rate of discharge. We're at like 25 amps, 24 amps instead of an exact 20, but pretty darn close. Guys, check this out. 99.9 amp hours. We're about to hit 100, and there's 100 amp hours right there. Looks like it'll go a little bit longer, but not by too much. We're down into the 11.7 volt range. But good job, Callsun. Full advertised capacity. Put a little more charge back into this Callsun battery now. Let's just see what kind of load we can pull off of it. A fast, heavy load test. And this is a 3000 watt inverter. It'll easily be able to overload a single 12 volt 100 amp hour battery like this. Let's see if we can at least pull 100 amps out of it. Got this little space heater going here. On low heat, we're pulling about 66 amps. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heater up to high. There we go. High heat. There's 107 amps. 134, 140, 124, 116. Still going. Pulling over 100 amps. Not shutting off or anything. Well, I think I might have to up the ante just a little bit and see if we can get this guy to shut off on overcurrent protection. Okay, we're going to actually add a heat gun now. So right now the heat is off. We're only pulling like 3 amps. Let's go ahead and add the heat gun. 115 amps. 114. Okay, let's go ahead and add the heat now on low heat. 131 amps. 160 amps. Still running. Not shutting down yet. 195 amps. My wires are getting very hot. Let's just go to high heat super fast and see. 238, 270. Wow, we're gonna cut this back. So if this battery has overcurrent protection, it does not trigger very fast. So I would highly recommend ensuring you use a fuse with this particular battery. As you saw, I just got this battery out of the freezer. Let's test low temperature charging protection. I'm going to connect this charger that you see right here. What's going to happen is the light's going to turn red for a few seconds. And then if low temperature charging protection works on this battery, it will reject the charge and the charger will switch to a solid green light. If it stays red for longer than just a couple of seconds, then that means it is accepting a charge and low temperature charging protection doesn't work. So let's see what happens. And just like that. So, low temperature charging protection works. I'm going to leave links for these Shade Tolerant Solar Panels down in the description, as well as the battery, as well as the just standard 200 watt panels. These still perform really, really well and are some of my favorite panels of all time. And it's really exciting to see these shade tolerant ones come to market. I also have links down in the description for where you can submit a guaranteed to be answered question to me, as well as a place where you can book an online video consultation with me. I personally think Callsun makes some of the best solar panels available on Amazon right now. So regardless of which solar panels you get, one way or another, I know you won't be disappointed. And their battery is very, very competitive as well. So they're starting to become kind of your one-stop shop. Now we just need a Callsun solar charge controller, don't you guys think? Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype. The 5 free things that really help small YouTube channels like mine and allow me to continue to produce this free content for you. We've always got more epic stuff in the pipeline, so stay tuned, stay safe, and we'll catch y'all next time.